What to do if you relapse? Well, first of all, the thing you do not want to do is you do not want to freak out, blame yourself, feel like crap because you drank again. Because where's that going to get you? Nowhere. Of course, the frustration of going back to drinking can propel you forward because you can be like, okay, I'm no longer accepting of this behavior. I'm going to move on from this. I'm never going to relapse again. Now, relapse in itself in the word can not be as progressive of the word. It's kind of like, oh, I was using in the past and then I didn't for a period of time. Now I'm using again. And really, people put this negative connotation on it. So instead, what I like to say instead of a relapse is a reframe. And instead of blaming yourself for drinking again or smoking again or doing all any of the things that you don't want to do again after a period of time of not doing it, call it a reframe. Now, the way you can reframe this is through a couple different steps. Now, I am such a huge supporter of writing things in your journal. If you do not have a journal, this thing is the number one thing to get you through any discomfort in life so you can propel yourself forward. So, what I would say is if you are going through a period of time, let's say you said you want to get sober and you were sober for 3 months, and then all of a sudden you wanted to drink, something triggered you, boom, you drank 12 beers. Like people might call that a relapse. Instead of, like I said, freaking out, feeling bad about yourself, be like, oh my gosh, all my work that I've done has means nothing because now I drink again. Now I don't get that 1 year long chip. Don't worry about the chip. Write this shit down. First of all, write down a few different things. First of all, one thing to write down: what triggered you to drink in the first place? What thought went through your head that was like, "Ooh, if I drink, I'm gonna feel better because of X," or "I'm gonna drink because I wanna have more fun," or "I'm gonna drink because I want to be more confident." Whatever that thought was that went through your head, write it down in your journal so you know that that is a trigger for you, right? So this is good. This is almost like sobriety is almost like being in a relationship, right? A relationship with alcohol that's a positive relationship. Now, when you break that relationship with sobriety, it's almost like a breakup. But think about every breakup you've had in the past, right? You're able to learn from that breakup and apply what you've learned to your new relationship. It's exactly what you can do in a relapse or a reframe. And it's how you can kind of spin it into a positive. So the first thing you write down is, why did you drink in the first place? What led you to drink? What triggered you? Why? What positives did you feel like would happen from drinking? Maybe something you're going through, something you're feeling really bad. Maybe your one of your parents passed away. Whatever it is, write that down. Right. The next thing to would be to write down, what environment were you in? Maybe you could have been in the bar. You could have been in a club. You could have been somewhere close to alcohol, which makes the alcohol accessible, or somewhere where everybody's smoking and like, duh, it's easy to just take a hit when everybody in the circle is smoking, right? So write down what type of environment you were in. Now, the next step, the third question to ask yourself is, how can I move forward from here? What new goals can I set for myself? Because many times people put their goals based off of an allotted amount of time. Like, I want to be sober for a month or a year, or I want to be sober for the rest of my life. And yes, that is a cool goal, but it's kind of like the similar goal to, like, all right, I want to lose 30 pounds. Well, there's a lot of different ways you can lose 30 pounds. You can you can lose 30 pounds of muscle, or you can lose 30 pounds of fat. So you get what I mean? If you're not able to look up the composition of what weight you're losing, then you don't know exactly if it's going to be a positive or negative. So in my opinion, a better goal to set is to set a goal based off of your limiting beliefs. Now, I could do a whole different video on this, but think about this. Think about the reasons that you drink in the first place. It must bring you some sort of relaxation. It must bring you some sort of confidence. It must bring you something that you feel like you cannot attain sober. So if you're able to flip that script and say, all right, when I'm able to be as confident sober as I am drunk, then I'll drink again. When I'm able to be as great of a dancer sober as I am drunk, then I'll drink again. So this goal basically makes you go after your BS beliefs and disprove them. And the trick is once you've disproved those things, there's no reason to drink alcohol. It no longer has any benefit for you. So that is the way to set a goal. So the three different questions to ask yourself is what was your trigger? What environment were you in, and what can you learn from this in the future, and what different goal can you set for yourself? So you can use this relapse as a reframe and make a new relationship with sobriety because something wasn't in the plan. Something happened that was outside of the plan. Add that to your new plan and make it better and improve on it. So please, 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 please remember to celebrate the time you were sober. Because some people are like, oh my gosh, I'm a failure. I was sober for a year and then cracked. Do you know how many people on this earth have been able to be sober for a year? Not many, especially when people are reliant on something that's so addicting or can be as addictive as alcohol, right? So you have to give yourself a pat on the back, like a massive pat on the back for the length of time that you are sober. Recognize what happened and why you relapsed, reframe that relapse into building a new relationship with sobriety and creating a new goal that's going to propel you forward. That's going to disprove those bullshit beliefs that alcohol actually gives you anything because in reality, it only takes, it does not add. And when you're able to prove that to yourself, you'll no longer drink. So, my friends, if you drank again and you did ungodly things, remember to forgive yourself. Remember that you can move on. Remember, there's so many people that are in the same exact place as you are right now. And you can move forward and you can get through this. Thank you so much for being here. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, write them down below and let's grow.